Hey guys, yeah, back here with another video this week, and today we are going to be looking at top five controllers to invest in. Obviously, if you're starting fresh from the game, or if you're aiming for more late game stuff, what are five characters in my personal opinion, that I value to be fairly consistent with their utility, their accessibility to the free to play community, the ability to obviously actively farm them. My example in this case would be like, for example, like Star Lord. You can't just farm him or unlock him immediately. So right off the get go, he is off my list. Again, I picked these characters based on my own personal preference as well, and like I said, their accessibility to the free to play, and obviously if they're able to be farmable. And to me, I find that to be way more valuable then obviously if you got to pay to basically get ahead in this game. So yes, without further ado, let's get started. So first off, right off the bat here, the character that and this is in no particular order. All five of these characters are just great to invest your time and resources in. They translate well into late game, and I'll kind of go into their skill sets here. But yeah, right off the bat here, we're gonna go with Jessica Jones. As all of you already may know, she goes great already with the Defenders crew. And I'm just gonna switch over to my Lions chat here because there's a spammage on the global chat here, and it's gonna get a little annoying. But again, yeah, Jessica Jones, really great. Right off the bat, you can easily farm her. Pretty much when you start playing the game. You can probably unlock her probably in the first week or so. So again, her accessibility to to you guys is great because you can actually farm her in two different nodes. You can farm her in the villains, and then you can farm her in Nexus as well. Nexus, it's going to be a little bit harder down the stretch, but again, in terms of actually unlocking her, she's as easy as it gets. Obviously, late game wise, if you've already invested a lot of resources in other characters, it's great to kind of jump into farming her, and it's easy because of the fact that she's got two different nodes that you can essentially pour your energy into. So again, that's one of the reasons why I've got her on my list here. Not to mention, she goes really great well with the defenders, and especially if with Alliance Wars, defenders are used as defending teams quite extensively, myself included. I slapped them into my defensive unit just because they pair so well together, and the AI just complements each character so well together. Arena wise, with defenders as well, you can't go wrong. They can pretty much take out a lot of the key meta teams like Brotherhood. You can take out shield teams as well. It all goes great. Um, but yeah, it all goes great because of the fact that it's an easy to farm, skill based synergy team. And again, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, and Luke Cage. Those are the three core members in that set. And again, shouldn't be any surprise to you guys that she's one of my faves. First skill, nothing to really brag about. She basically just jabs and basically generates energy to a random defender. So again, if you've got a defender ally, if you got city heroes, she just pairs really well with those guys. Shake it off. This is probably one of probably the best ability on her because of the fact that defenders, if you've already used them, you know that they don't have a lot of buffs or abilities to clear debuffs. And essentially, she can basically clear all the negatives with her final stage on her shake it off ability. So again, I haven't upped it up because I'm trying to save my orange mats right now for my pyro. So that's what I'm doing. But yeah, essentially, if you get it up to her last level, you can essentially clear all the debuffs from all the allies. So this is really great. It doesn't necessarily need to be a defender's ally, but again, she can clear it from all negatives from all allies, and on top of that, she can generate energy for defenders if it's a defender. So again, it pairs well if you've got it with a defender team already. But again, this skill is just so OP. Again, it doesn't necessarily need to be teamed up with defenders, but it's a great skill overall just for clearing debuffs. I know for a fact. This skill has definitely saved my butt more than once, and it's really really good, especially against Spider-Verse teams where you've got Spider-Man and you got Miles and you got Green Goblin ripping so many debuffs on. She can basically just clear and wipe the slate clean for you with this skill, which is really great. But again, with Spider-Verse, I mean, they'll just tack more, they'll just tack more on debuffs. So again, I've seen it both ways where defenders can beat Spider-Verse, but at the same time they just tack so much bleed and so much defense down. It's just crazy. Defenders, they really lack that component where they can rip off debuffs. So that's one of the flaws with this team. But again, she translates well into late game, either with the defenders team or without. She works quite well because of the fact that she's got some really great skill sets. Her other skill set that makes her really shine is the fact that she can rip off all clear positives from the target. Again, don't have it all maxed out because I don't have enough orange mats, but in that situation where she's up against Thanos, she's up against taunts like those guys where you can't really readily rip the taunts off, she can do it. She has so much resistance and she's got so much focus, she can rip it off. So it's pretty awesome. She's one of the only characters, one of two characters that can basically rip Thanos' taunt off, which is pretty remarkable if you ask me. Because again, when people use Thanos and they taunt, I mean, holy crap, there's no way you can get through his taunts. So she is one of the exceptions. So again, you can't go wrong with that. So again, shake it off and rejection, great, two great skills. And then her denial, this just adds more to the fact that she gets more resistance. So she's not stunnable. She won't bleed as easy. She won't get the debuffs. Again, I find that when she has this passive, she is actually really tough to kind of rip positives off of. And on top of that, she retains her buffs on her because like for example, if you're up against a Black Widow usually steals with her with her primary skill if she's in stealth. But again, her resistance is so powerful that she can basically resist that. So again, really really awesome. And again, defenders, no surprise there. They get extra resistance, and again with city allies. But yeah, so just a great character all around, easy farmable. She's got two great skills. Her first skill isn't too bad, but again, it's the other two abilities that really make her shine as a controller. And again, with controllers, you want someone that can basically help clear the team of status effects and basically control the board as well. So again, she can clear taunts, she can debuff. Just really, really great character all around. And again, easily farmable and accessibility to the free to play community base. So that's one of the reasons why I've got her on my list here. Second character is actually Mordo. Again, in no particular order or any of these characters better than the other. I just have a list of five, and I just wanted to kind of share that information with you guys. But again, this guy is really he's kind of underestimated. Even with the release of him, a lot of people were, first they were kind of impressed with him, and then later on they're like, oh, he doesn't really deal a lot of DPS. He's not that great. But then, he kind of bounced back, after you start leveling him up and you start getting his abilities up, he actually really shines as a controller. And not to mention, you can use him in a cosmic and a mystic setting. So again, I would not have been able to unlock that vision node where you can unlock and farm vision, where you're up against that super Thor without Mordo. Because again, not only did he blind that Mega Thor, but he also stunned him. So I mean, again, the fact that he's got a blind and he's got a stun, it really, really, really helps out. So again, first skill, he just attacks and he applies negatives. That's, it's pretty nice actually to apply negatives. It really works out with teams that can basically spread negatives across. So that's actually kind of useful. His mesmerize, this is the skill that I was talking about earlier. I had leveled it up. And then I basically found out that he blinds and he stuns. So I mean, it's awesome because of the fact that this was really really handy when I was up against that Mega Thor. I believe it's like node 3-3. Um, oh, I forget if it was Mystic or Cosmic, but one of those campaign modes. And again, yeah, you really had to stun him because again, there wasn't a lot of Cosmic/Mystic characters you can use in that node, and he was one of the guys that paired really well because of the fact that he was either blinding Thor, which basically causes ult to miss, or he was stunning him. So again, I leveled it up ASAP right away because I wanted to guarantee that I could stun him. And then yeah, I easily took down that node with Mordo. In terms of his actual survivability, it's kind of nice. He gets with this skill, he gets whoops, wrong one. With his passive, he actually gets health every time someone dies. So it's kind of funny. Yeah. So there's a death of a mystic. He basically gets healed. So that's really nice. And on top of that, he gets energy. So again, he can basically help give energy, and he actually pairs really, really well with Thanos because he just feeds Thanos energy. I usually just have those two on a team together because they're both kind of mystic cosmic. And again, he just feeds energy to Thanos, and then Thanos can just keep taunting almost permanently. So it's awesome that he can do that. So again, really, really great skill, and it's just passive. I want to level it up, but again, like I said, I'm saving my orange for Pyro and trying to get my Brotherhood teams up right now. Again, his third skill, if you're up against raids on Mordu, this is usually the default AI skill that they use, but again, it's great because of the fact that it doesn't miss. So even when Mordu's blinded, it's awesome. It doesn't miss, and it basically causes everyone to heal block. So again, this comes in really, really handy. I've found in raids and in arena when you're up against pesky teams like Shield. Oh my gosh. Not only does Mordu cancel out their heals, he can basically blind Nick Fury or the operative from using her stealth heal. So again, it gets really, really annoying, and I've found that this skill is just awesome. So I'm definitely gonna level it up once I get more orange mats. But again, you only really need it to be at level probably level 5 or 6. I mean, all it really does is it increases the heal block for 2 turns, which is really handy. Otherwise, I mean, you just increase the damage of it, and the actual damage is pretty crappy. But I mean, what do you expect? I mean, this skill is unavoidable, and even if Morty's blinded, it still hits. Like it's pretty awesome. So again, that's why I have him on my list here. And again, in terms of his actual farming, you can pretty much get him on the arena store. And again, if you don't know where that is, that's just in your arena. You go to your store. And I mean, there's not that many characters. Most people would have maxed out Quake, Drax, Daredevil, or Deadpool, and then obviously Scarlet as well. And I mean, unless you want to level up the minions, you can go for it. But I mean, I was able to level up all these guys, and of course, I started focusing all my resources in Mordu after I realized how good he was. So again, I only had him at like 4 or 5 stars when I was up against that Mega Thor. But then after I realized how good he was, and after after realizing the fact that he's such great utility in a lot of situations, arena, blitz, even in raids, like it just really helped with his heal block. So again, really, really great character. Again, please level up your resources into him. You will not be disappointed. Like I said, he is a little bit. He doesn't really get that attention from a lot of other content creators on YouTube. But again, this guy is just, I don't know. I'm in love with this guy. Yeah, so that's why I've kind of spent more time and resources in him. But again, I can guarantee you guys, you won't be disappointed. He pairs really well too with the villains team. I've got him right now with my Kingpin, Thanos, and who else do I have in that team? Oh, some other villains. I forget who I had in that mix. But yeah, he pairs really well. And again, he's a cosmic slash mystic ally. So you can always use him in the campaign modes, especially when they unlock higher modes. So again, really, really great. You can farm him easy, and it's pretty good. You won't be disappointed in spending your time and resources in him. So yeah. And other than that, sorry for the jamble. Next character, again, shouldn't be a surprise to you guys. Hawkeye, great utility. First skill, just pretty typical, just hits damage, crits, whatever. Hoo-ha. Concussion arrow, really, really awesome because of the fact that it clears 3 positives. I've got it once you level one more time. I mean, you can clear all positives, but 3 positives is pretty good. Especially if you're up against shield teams, he pairs in really well. And again, if you've probably got him mixed in with Black Widow as well, or some other Avengers, and he just pairs really, really well. Again, he's got his air burst, which is great because it's unavoidable, and on top of that, he can basically blind the primary target as well as 50% to everybody else. So this is actually really handy. Whether in raids, arena, it just comes in really, really handy, especially if if Rocket's gonna ult or if you know Star Lord's gonna use his ult, or even Pyro. Really comes in handy because you can basically nullify that and make sure that they don't land their ult on you. So again, really great. Again, his last skill, Shot in the Dark, comes in handy against stealth targets, and 50% chance to attack them, and it clears their stealth. Really handy. I've found this to be pretty good against the shield teams, especially when the operative does his little healing stealth to a target, and it gets really annoying when he does that because then you're trying to take out Nick Fury, or you're trying to take out maybe a shield medic, or maybe anybody, honestly, and it just gets really annoying. So again, really great. And on top of that, he pairs well with the Avengers. Um, I wish the Avengers can get a little bit more love here. I feel like they should get some buff, especially with how the Defenders team, Brotherhood, Spider-Verse, Wakandan, like all those teams are kicking butt right now, and Avengers I feel like is kind of getting a little bit neglected. So I'm a little bit sad about that, but fingers crossed they put some updates out for these guys. They recently buffed Hulk, and even so, I still don't really see him as viable. I've used him a few times, and he still seems really squishy, and yeah. So I'm not really too happy about that, but it is what it is. That's what it is right now, and you just gotta keep running the marathon, keep farming along and hoping for the best. So again, that was Hawkeye there, and now I'm gonna shift my attention to another Avenger. So again, Vision. Of course, I was talking about earlier farming him, and obviously, he is such a great character, and I'm still trying to level him up. But again, even at tier 8 right now, and I've got him with my Avengers team. Oh, he is just so good. Only problem with him is, yeah, like I said before, you're gonna need to. Whoops. Wrong button. You're gonna need to basically unlock the last node on the Mystic campaign. So that's what it was. It was Mystic. But yeah, he's pretty tough to farm. If you don't have that node unlocked, because again, that's pretty much the only way to do it, and that's pretty much the last node in the game right now. So it does get a little bit difficult. And again, I already said Mordo comes in so handy for that battle against that super mega powerful God Thor or whatever his name is. But yeah, once you do have it unlocked, Farm Vision, he is just absolutely dynamite. Like I said, I've still got to get this guy up to. I got to get up to his tier 12. That's what I'm hoping for, and then hopefully he'll provide a little bit more bulk to his overall stats. Because again, even with him, he's pretty squishy. First skill is just great because of the fact that it can chain and apply debuffs. If you got tech, it also applies bleed, so that's pretty cool. So he's really good against tech. Dive bomb. Oh, this skill is so awesome. He can basically block one of the targets, and again, it doesn't do a ton of damage, but again, if you upgrade it, it will do a little bit more damage. But again, he's got that potential to basically block the primary target plus another one. And this comes in so handy if you're up against teams like Defenders, where Luke Cage is going to defense up, and that's going to make such a hard time for you to knock out Punisher and Iron Fist and all those annoying guys. So again, this is just really handy to block it out. And it has the potential to block somebody else out, which is great, especially if you're up against shield teams. Block Nick Fury, block the shield operative. I keep talking about that shield operative because I'm so mad because every time you get close to finishing someone off, boom, shield operative is there to heal them up, and then they're back to full health. So again, Vision clears that problem right away, easy, no problemo. And Solar Beam, this kind of reminds me of Pokemon in a way because you're thinking, the grass the grass attack or whatever, the one that Venusaur can use. But again, this skill is so good because of the fact that it can clear the positives. Obviously, if you got Scarlet on there, they also cause bleed, which is awesome. But again, it has the potential to clear all the two debuffs, or sorry, to clear two buffs from each target. And again, it's great because of the fact that if you've got it paired with an Avengers team, you've already got Hawkeye there to debuff, you've got Cap there to debuff, and now you've got Vision there to debuff. So it's freaking awesome. I've had some really good luck against Defenders teams and Shield teams with Vision. And again, like I said, I got him unlocked, and I wasn't really paying too much attention to his overall skill set. But afterwards, oh, he was just so good. His density manipulation, that's just great if you got other tech allies. So you've also seen him paired with a lot of tech enemies or tech allies like Star-Lord, Rocket, and then obviously Minerva, that sort of thing. It just makes everybody so tanky because of the fact that they start with defense up, and it makes them so hard to kill. So again, great for the Alliance Wars as well. Vision defending teams with techs. Those guys are some of the best teams I've played up against, and they are tough to kill. So again, really great passive on him. And again, I should definitely upgrade this when I get a chance because again, it adds more dodge to his overall skill set. And again, you want him. He's pretty squishy if he gets hit, but you want to make sure you can give him little bit more durability. So again, Vision. Yeah, you guys won't be disappointed by him. Again, the only tough thing about him is getting him unlocked and getting him farmed up. So again, the only way to do that is doing it through the Mystic campaign, and it's 3-9. You gotta get a pretty particular skill set to kind of kill off that God Thor. So again, that's yeah. But I can assure you guys, if you put your time and your money into this guy, you won't be disappointed. And again, I'm fingers crossed. They'll hopefully buff up more of the Avengers characters, and that'll kind of make things kind of smoother along the edges and make that team kind of give them a little resurrection. Because again, that team's kind of missing love right now. So hopefully they spend a little bit more time on that. Yeah, sorry, too much talking. And again, I'm gonna flip the ball here. So again, another great character. Unfortunately, the problem with her is you have to basically you can only unlock her through arena credits as well. So again, you gotta kind of value your, kind of have to split your decision here and decide, is it better to farm, is it better to farm Quake? Is it better to farm Daredevil? Is it better to use your credits on Mordo, for example. But again, Scarlet's another one. You can get her at the arena store. I wish there was more ways to farm her, but again, you can get her in the store right now. Great character. She pairs really well with Vision, as you guys just saw. She basically causes his solar beam, yeah, solar beam, to bleed, which is awesome. And again, her first skill again pairs really well with Vision because of the fact that she can apply debuffs, which is great. Again, negatives is great, especially with Vision as well because it goes back to her alt, which basically causes them to extend. Whoops. Which basically causes them to extend the effects by a duration of 1. So again, this actually works really well, and you actually will need her. Well, I mean, in my group, I had her with the against that Mega God Thor as well. So she was really great because of the debuffs. It was basically spreading defense down, offense down, speed down, all that good stuff, and it was basically lasting, extended duration because of the fact that of Scarlet Witch. So again, you want to make sure you can put her in that mix as well. She works really great in that team against that Mega Thor with Mordo. So really great. Um, what else do I got here? Oh yes, I missed her second skill. Her second skill is really great too because of the fact that it applies deflect. So again, this is gonna save your butt, especially if you're up against that Mega Thor. And yeah, it's probably sounding like a broken record tape right now, but that guy was such a pain in the ass. And once you get deflect on there, it helps really handy, especially if you know he's gonna ult. So definitely save this skill up and running. It's got that 50% chance to apply defense up to each ally as well. So that's really great. Pairs really well with Vision because of the fact that he also starts up with defense up. And again, if you've got Avenger teams with, Cap, or not, sorry, not Cap. War, War Machine and Falcon. Their techs, they'll get defense up, and again, this just gives them a little bit more durability and really helps out with the overall team composition. Oh, and Iron Man, that's who I was thinking of. I was thinking of Cap, and then I was thinking Iron Man because I don't know why I thought of Cap, but that's who I meant. So again, applies the defense up and just gives them a little bit more durability. And again, her last skill, or 40% chance to basically spread a negative from one enemy to another. So that's, this isn't totally, it's okay when it does work, but again, you're not going to keep track of whose debuffs is on another guy. Like, yeah, I haven't really, yeah, I haven't really noticed this to be a game changer. not like Vision's passive, where basically he can start the entire round with all the techs, with like Iron Man, for example, with defense up. It's not really a game changer for me. But again, she's really great. You can farm her early on, like I said already, once you start getting a team utilized for arena, and once you pour some resources into her, she actually pairs really well. So again, I'm kind of keeping Vision and Scarlet together right now in a lot of my Blitz teams because I try to keep them around the same kind of the same CP, so they stick together. But yeah, it's been pretty awesome. They got some really really good utility together. But yeah, that's it. So again, Jessica Jones, Hawkeye, Mordo. We've got Vision, and then we've got Scarlet as well. So those are my 5 picks. Not just because not just because they're accessible to you guys, to the free to play community base, but their overall composition and skill set really kind of gives them a whole bunch of situations they can be utilized in, and particularly a lot of these ones, they're great for controlling debuffs or pushing buffs onto people, or clearing buffs, and or blinding, or applying the reflect, that or taking taking other debuffs and extending them, which is really really great. Um, some honorable mentions. Obviously, I gotta mention Black Widow here. She's not really farmable per se because of the fact that she used to be, and then she basically got removed. But again, we can't deny how good she is if you can get her unlocked. You can purchase her from the store for like 450 power cores, which is just a total rip. I mean, she does drop quite a bit during the premium orbs when I open them for some reason. Maybe because I've already got her to 7 stars, so they're just trolling me. But but again, she's really good because of the fact that she can basically boost everyone's speed. She can stun, and then she can also rip debuffs, or not debuffs. She can rip buffs onto her. So that's really awesome. And obviously, I gotta also mention Star Lord. Ugh, what's going on with my game? Sorry about that, you guys. All right, and of course I gotta mention just a little slower. I don't know what's going on. Sorry, guys. Come on, okay, here we go. We got this. Come on, Star-Lord. All right. So again, really great because of the fact that he pairs really well with the Guardians. He does a ton of damage. He gives energy to the team. But the only problem is you gotta have you gotta have a Guardians or Ravager character, and you gotta have them basically up to 5 stars to get them unlocked. And the event basically has to come back, and the event's actually on right now. But again, it's all based on chance, so that's why he's not on my list. But I mean, he goes really well with the Guardians, and I just got to mention him because, again, he is a really great character. I wish he was farmable and available to you guys all year round. But again, it's all based on luck, and he is free to play. Don't get me wrong, he is free to play, but he didn't make my list because of the fact that he's just not easily and readily accessible. Say, for example, if you were to start playing tomorrow and you were to start playing for the next couple weeks, you'd be kind of wondering to yourself, when am I gonna unlock him, right? So, and then obviously taking that time to get everybody like Raccoon, Groot, some Ravagers like Yondu, you have to get them up to 5 stars because you got to get all those characters up to 5 stars to unlock him as a 5 star. And again, it just takes a lot of time. So again, that's why he's not on my list. But yeah, just to recap here, again, Jessica Jones, great character because of the fact that she can debuff, she can clear buffs, and she can also basically resist stuns, bleeding, and all that good jazz. She pairs well into late game with the defenders. Mordo's great because he can stun, he blinds, he can block heal, which is awesome against shield teams, against defenders teams. He's easily farmable, and on top of that, he pairs really really well with other cosmic and mystic allies, for example, like Thanos. So he goes really, really well hand in hand with him. Hawkeye, great with Avengers. He can blind, he can debuff, he can resist. He can resist blind too. Actually, even if he's blinded, his ult will still land. It's unavoidable, which is awesome, just like Morty's. And he pairs really well with Shield teams and Avenger teams. So yeah, he goes really well. Vision, great again because he debuffs, he clear buffs. He can start the team off with defense up, and he can also apply debuffs as well. especially if he's paired with Scarlet Witch. He can basically make everybody bleed with his solar beam. So yeah, pretty awesome there. And again, Scarlet Witch is great because of the fact that she can redistribute health and then apply reflect slash defense up with the potential to give everybody defense. Makes everybody durable. She can apply debuffs, she can spread debuffs, and she can extend debuffs. So again, she is like a debuff queen. So again, she pairs really well with Vision as well. So again, those are my 5 characters. So hopefully that's helped you guys out a bit. Again, this is just my personal opinion. Obviously, who to spend your time and resources in when you start the game off. But again, a lot of these characters translate so well into late game, and it doesn't really matter who you guys kind of decide who's a higher priority. They all go well into late game, and I'm utilizing them all throughout right now. Alliance Wars, Blitz, Arena, you name it. So don't worry too much on if, oh my goodness, am I gonna waste money? Am I gonna waste my resources, my mats, my refreshes and all my charges on these guys? No, you guys aren't. These are safe bets, and obviously, I feel like you should be able to get these guys unlocked pretty easily here, since a lot of them are farmable by the nodes. But again, get them while they're still here, so while they're still farmable, because again, you don't know with Fox, they can remove characters pretty much without warning, just like they did with Gamora. They took her off when she was farmable. So again, you want to make sure you can get these guys while you still can. Hopefully that's helped you guys out a bit, and thank you so much for watching, and happy gaming, guys. Thank you so much.